Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootleg shield, dead slave service peasants, vassals, me text. I'm a Useful Idiot, and today I'd like to talk about the fact that there's always enough bullets, but never enough bread. And a good example of this is the fact that with all of the austerity and all the budget cuts and all the out-of-control spending and all the deficits and all the financial calamity in the world, there's no cuts in military spending anywhere in the globe. And there's no country that is above this trend. So the implications of this should be obvious right from the get-go. And that's that the fact is money is being drained away and there's being a dismantling of the social contract so that we can support the war machine. And that's where all the money is going. And here's two recent examples. So one example, of course, is the fact that the UK, which has been hit with staggering austerity measures, and they're still having lots of financial struggles, and they have lots more to come. And yet they can still spend $1 billion, or €1 billion, on nuclear submarines, new nuclear submarines. So why the hell does the UK need more nuclear submarines? Aren't the US's enough? Isn't all the nuclear submarines as part of NATO enough? So with all the cost cutting and all the dismantling of the welfare state and all the social programs and all the social contract that's being cut back in the UK, and they can still continue forging ahead with these huge military contracts. And of course the same in the US. Our defense costs have gone up 40% over the last 10 years. And that's not including the cost of the wars all around the globe, including Afghanistan and Iraq. So, what do we have to show for all of this is a good question. But the fact that military spending doesn't get cut anywhere. So we have a deflationary movement going on in China now, and they're continuing with record military spending. And I'm sure Russia's in there with record military spending, and all the countries of Europe, including Greece. Look at Greece is about to default and leave the Eurozone. And Greece is the #1 customer of Germany and France's military output. And they are the third largest arms importer after China and India. So in spite of everything that's going on with Greece, they're still spending a record amount on their military for tanks and submarines and airplanes. And for what? Who is their enemy? What are they afraid of? Are they that big a contributor to the NATO machine? So what it tells me is that these European countries are vassals to NATO as well, because they're required to keep up a certain amount of weapons procurement and a certain size military in order to augment NATO and be part of that contract. So anyway, I don't really like this trend globally that all this suffering that has to be inflicted on people and the cost cutting, and I'm all for smaller government, but it's just interesting to see what the trade-off is with money being siphoned off from all the social contract programs globally and feeding into the military-industrial complex and the purchase of weapons. Greece is a perfect example. Why they would still have record spending on the military? You mean to tell me that they couldn't take 2 years break from spending anything on the military and save their entire country, and it's still not worth the trade-off? I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.